As the title of both this video and that little title card probably will have told you by now, this video is a prompt response to Spore's prompt from a little while ago about creepy dolls. Specifically, what BGD dolls do we, as a collector, as a person in the hobby, find creepy? Two very important things to keep in mind. One, this is just my personal opinion, and it's usually more the company photos, because for a few of these dolls I have seen owner pictures and like them, just not for me. Number two, this is not singling out anyone in particular or anyone's particular dolls. I'm not saying that if you have these dolls that I find them creepy and I don't like them. Actually, wait, I lied. There are more than two things. I was not lying about what I just said, but there are more than two things. Point number three. For me, just because I find something creepy does not mean that I do not find it interesting. It just means that I would not get that for myself. It does not stop me from looking at photos of these dolls. It does not stop me from finding them cool. It's just that I know that if I had my hands on them, I would cause nightmares for myself. So I think that's about it. I guess there was just the 3 points, which is still more than the 2 than I said it would be. So, enough rambling. On with the dolls. Okay. Number 1. Dolls with teeth. Now, there are some dolls with teeth that I'm kind of like, oh, that's okay. Like, you know us. But most of the time, I find that if the teeth are showing, it is creepy. Maybe just because it's hard to get that to translate well on a doll. Maybe because it's hard to paint it. But for whatever reason, the teeth look really fake to me. And that freaks me out because, like, kind of a fake looking teeth, especially if it doesn't look like they're trying to smile or something, often makes me think of predatory animals. So, dolls with teeth. Number 2, related to dolls with teeth, dolls with too much happiness. Let's put it that way. Spore used that expression in her video, and I think it really encompasses why I find these dolls creepy. If a doll has a lot of expression or really fixed emotion, I find it really creepy because it both makes them seem more doll-like, but also less. A good example of this, that actually combines both teeth and way too much happiness, is the doll in Mind, Miso, who I have seen own a picture of her, and I'm like, oh, she's really cute. But the more I look at her, the more I know that if I had her, I would have nightmares of her biting my face off. It's such a big smile, and the teeth are so prominent, that it almost looks like a mask, like a parody of happiness, which drops it into the uncanny valley for me and just makes it creepy. Some other dolls like that, let me bring them up. Another doll that's like that is the April Story Lillian. Now her mouth is more closed, but because the teeth are showing, the smile looks really fake to me. And fake smiles always creep me out because I go, why are they trying to smile if they aren't happy? Like what are they actually feeling? Which is actually part of the reason why, me personally, I don't like the teeth showing in smiling dolls, just because it looks really fake at times. Okay, also with the smiling and with the teeth, is the Angel of Dream Huzian? I'm probably butchering that. Who I actually find really cute, but also a bit creepy. I've seen owner pictures of her, and I love her in owner pictures. Particularly, I said I wasn't going to name names, but I am in this case because I find this one owner's doll, who is this particular mold, absolutely adorable. And it's oh gosh, I'm blanking out on the owner's name. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. But it's the doll's name is Oviha, and I find her so cute, and I love seeing her in videos and in pictures. But I know that if I got that mold for myself, she would get so creepy so fast. So for me, as much as I love how that mold looks, it falls under the I know how my imagination works, and I know that it would become very creepy very fast. So I will let other owners do justice to that mold. A little break here from all this smiling with teeth. With this one just has the teeth, it's not smiling. And the Dalmor Eve, Youth Dalmor Eve Miho. I don't know what it is about her. I think it's the teeth, but something about her just gives me the willies. Another doll, actually another Dalmor doll, with teeth that gives me the willies is Noelle. Now she isn't smiling, but she does have teeth, and it's actually worse that she isn't smiling. In her default photos, it makes me think that she's grimacing. It looks really fake. It looks like she's just opened her mouth just a little bit, like she might be trying to smile, or maybe she's in pain. I can't tell. The expression is rather strange, and it really freaks me out. Though it's interesting to note that I do like the lingerie limited edition version of her better. I still find her creepy, but I find it less creepy, slightly. Ever so slightly less creepy. But enough with dolls with teeth, and I apologize that this video is so long. I'm going to keep going for a while because I have a whole bunch of examples of what I find creepy. So the third type of dolls that I, as someone in the hobby, find creepy are, to be honest, most anthros. There are a few that I find cute, and a lot that I find cute in owner pictures, but a lot of the times the company photos creep me out. And specific anthros that actually do creep me out, there's the Spirit Doll Cheshire Cat, the Dalmor Doll Cattish Dolls. Though with the Cattish dolls, I find that like the Russian Grey limited edition one does not creep me out as much as the ones they have in normal skin or white skin. Maybe it's because the normal skin and white skin is usually the more human colors. I'm not sure. But I find there's something a bit creepy about such an animal face on a human body, essentially. When there's more elements of the animal in the body, then I tend not to be as creeped out as much. More anthros I find creepy. Doll leaves Sandy. Yeah, there's just something about that face that I'm like, once again, no offense to anyone that actually has these dolls. I'm not saying you can't enjoy them. I'm just saying that they do kind of creep me out. There's also the Immortality of Soul Lulu and Jack. In that case, it's because the animal head, which is a cat head, is so realistic. It's really not that cartoony, and it just kind of really creeps me out. And that pretty much ends my spiel about anthros. To recapitulate, anthros creep me out when they are just like an animal head on a human body without incorporating any sort of animal parts into the body, and also when the features are either too realistic or too closely placed. It's just something that makes my brain go like, oh, something's off about that. It all falls into the uncanny valley for me. And now on to more miscellaneous type dolls that I find creepy. They don't really fall under the teeth or the too much happiness or the anthros categories, but for whatever reason I do still find them creepy. To continue with the Immortality of Soul dolls, I have to say I do like these ones I'm going to be naming next. I do actually like them, but once again, just because I find something cool does not mean that I do not find it creepy at the same time, or know that if I actually had my hands on them, they would become creepy instantaneously. There's the Infernal head, and I just say, like, I like that he has the tongue, but it also really creeps me out. It's one of those things with they're like too fixed an expression. It falls underneath that. Because dolls, of course, have to have fixed expression. Whenever it's like a really extreme emotion or something that's something like teeth very visible or a tongue, it makes it look really fake but also creepy. Because unlike with a person, you know, like that mouth is not going to close, that tongue is not going to go back in. It's just always going to be there. I also find that if the features are very elongated, it's one of those things where it kind of ticks off in my head that you're like, something is off, this is not a human being. Does not stop me from thinking it's cool, does not stop me from going, oh, I want that. But it still does tick something in my head that is not a human feature. Good example is Immortality of Soul Chaos. The mouth is just so wide, which I like. I mean, I draw faces like that, but it's also creepy because, well, okay, because to me it looks like Chaos is squinting at me and like he's going like he's planning something, but it's the very elongated features. Well, not length of like the features like vertically, but horizontally. Okay, this one does fall underneath fixed expressions and teeth. As much as I think he is really cool, immortality of soul Jaguar haunts my nightmares. Why? Because he looks like he's just killed someone, and like you might be next. I find that he has a really cool expression, but yeah, you know, it's the really fixed smile, very menacing. All of those good things. Okay, these last ones are going to be quite a mismatch of things. Number 1, Circus Cane dolls. I admire the artistry and the creativity behind them, but they are creepy. They are oh so creepy to me. There's something about the head shapes and the eye placements and the mouths and everything. And for me, the worst are the ones that have kind of the egg-shaped face, because heads are not supposed to be shaped like eggs, and eyes shouldn't be that widely placed, and there's just too much head. It just creeps me out. I still find them really creative, but they creep me out. Imple Doll Sissy. I can't really name what creeps me out about Sissy. It's just something about the features don't look right. They're kind of this weird mix of very, I don't know, for me it looks very masculine and then also very plasticky, and fake and not lifelike, and I don't know, something about that particular one just creeps me out. Which is gonna be my refrain for a lot of these, is it just creeps me out. I don't know why, but it does. Blossom Doll Molly. She kind of falls underneath the elongated features. She looks really alien to me. I think it's really interesting, and I'd love to see owner pictures. But it's just something about the eye placement, and their very serious face makes me think alien, and once again, doesn't look human to me and creeps me out. And what made me start thinking about how I find the too long features creepy was Doll Chateau. Doll Chateau is very creative. I'm not going to dispute that. I don't think anyone can dispute that. But their dolls are very alien-like, very out there in aesthetic terms. And I really do like how they look in owner pictures. I know a lot of people who have them, and I like how they look, but it falls under the I know that in my hands they would become nightmare fuel. There's no other way to put it. In my hands they would become nightmare fuel. And it's actually Doll Chateau dolls of all sizes that I know that would happen, particularly if they have extra joints or are already more inhuman, like Elizabeth, their spider doll, their Siamese twins, and of course the Doll Chateau babies. The Doll Chateau baby bodies actually really scare me. Particularly the one that is extremely bottom heavy. It's so exaggerated in such a way that it it creeps me out. It makes me think of some old B horror movies I watched for the fun of it, that were they were set in like freak show, sideshow, circus stuff. It reminds me of that, and it really creeps me out. And then of course there are Hillary and Jody. Oh, clearly not supposed to be humans. They are some sort of creature, which is kind of cute, but also really creepy. And you want to tie off the really creepy, I'm gonna put a doll that I think most likely all of you, or the majority of you, will agree with me is creepy, no doubt, and that is the Doll Leaves Puppet dolls, both Puppet 1 and Puppet 2. Ventriloquist dolls are creepy. Not just because they're often in horror films, not just because, you know, a lot of us probably grew up reading the Goosebumps stories with Slappy, but because there is something freaky about a mouth moving on something that is supposed to be inanimate. They just is. Things that are moving that should not move, it's just creepy. It is creepy and scary and features quite heavily in a lot of horror films. And Doll Leaves Puppet 1 and 2 both have ventriloquist style mouths. Interesting enough, I find Puppet 2 not as creepy as Puppet 1. Why is this? Because Puppet 1 is smiling. Puppet 1 is smiling and it freaks me out so much. Puppet 1 makes me think very strongly about Slappy from Goosebumps and all of the horror films I've seen that have ventriloquist dummies in them, like Dead Silence, which I have not seen and have no desire to see, because I already have enough creepy dolls. They already haunt my nightmares, as you can probably guess by the fact that this video has been going on for over 20 minutes. I love dolls. I love all different kinds of dolls. But I've said it once, I've said twice, I'll say it for a third time. Just because I find something cool does not mean I do not also find it creepy or know that in my hands it would become nightmare fuel. And with that, I will leave you with a slideshow of the dolls that I mentioned, set to Jonathan Coulton's song, Creepy Doll. Bye!
In a town in the woods at the top of a hill, there's a house where no one lives. So you take a big bag of your big city money there and buy it. But at night when the house is dark and you're all alone, there's a noise upstairs. At the top of the stairs there's a door, and you take a deep breath and try it. And the flashlight shows you something moving just inside the door. There's a tattered dress and a feeling you have felt somewhere before. And there's a creepy doll that always follows you. It's got a ruined eye, it's always open. And there's a creepy doll that always follows you. It's got a pretty mouth to swallow you whole. So you scream and you close the door, and you tell yourself it was just a dream. In the morning you head into town 'cause you want is in your eyes and in your arms and in your head, and you are crazy. Now it's late and you head downstairs 'cause you just can't sleep, so you make some tea. And the doll disapprovingly asks if you really need that much honey. You decide that you've had enough and you lock the doll in the wooden box. You put the box in the fireplace next to your bag of big city money. As the smoke fills up your tiny room, there's nothing you can do. Far too late, you see the one inside the box is you. And there's a creepy doll that